All right. Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakar Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace, love, and salutation to you, brothers. You hopefully elect out there pushing this word in truth and laboring in sincerity, and shalom to you, Akwath, you few women who listen and learn. All right. So, the brothers GMS Myrtle Beach, posted here on the Street Teacher STO4, Street Teacher South Carolina 04 is what it stands for. The brother Manat Zagbai and it's the brother Yawan here, and they posted on this channel and on their other channel. Let's see, which one is it? It's GMS Myrtle Beach. So I believe I saw them posted on there. So the brother had a dream, and he drew out a picture, and they were going into it, and I saw a couple of things in there that I just wanted to expound on, as far as the importance of the beginning of his dream and what it meant, So, hopefully through the Spirit, this is edifying. I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to hit play,
The other day, I had a dream in the morning. Now, in the dream, it started off like I was in the bed. I was getting up for work. But then as I was getting up, it's like everything went black in the room. It's like I had lost my vision a little bit.
Yeah, so he said everything went black.
Everything went black. And then what appeared was, I got this drawing right here. I drew it up.
Hold on, bro. Let me zoom in. Go ahead. Okay, you good.
What appeared was this Liebig scale. And on the Liebig scale was a dark orb on one side. It was kind of foggy. It was a dark orb. On this other side, it was two white glowing orbs. And it was drastically outweighing that dark orb.
Right, so he said this is a Liebig scale. One of those scales like you see, I'm sure you've seen it before, where they got the little statue of the woman holding the scale, and one side's, the side that's lower is the heavier side, and the side that's higher is the lighter side. This represents darkness. This represents light or righteousness.
Now, I just presumed this was, the flesh, and this was things of the spirit. The spirit outweighs the flesh. Now, the dream started panning down.
So this is in the case of somebody who's allowing the spirit to outweigh the flesh, somebody who's trying to do righteousness, somebody who's in the truth. They're preaching, as far as the men, because it's for the men to preach. It could represent a woman that's trying to, obey her husband and do things according as the scriptures say, not going against the scriptures. So allowing the spirit to rule rather than letting the flesh rule is the way that you let it's like the elders always say about their spiritual bank account. You stock up your spiritual bank account with righteous acts so that they may overwhelm the flesh, the sins that you may do, because no one's perfect,
And I saw strings. And I started the string.
Let me say, no mortal man is perfect.
Connected to a man, but it wasn't a real man. It was like a puppet. It was like a wooden man. And the strings had his body doing stuff that a person wouldn't do. It was contorted. And then those strings, they snapped. And when that puppet fell, it was like almost kind of in a fetal position.
So, all right. So like he was saying, Salaki, because I kind of want to let him finish, but I'll just hit play on it. So right here, you see the man. He said it was like a puppet. It was like not a real man, and if you think about the movie Pinocchio, right? In the movie Pinocchio, he started off as a puppet, and then I believe that Geppetto wished or something that he was a real boy or whatever the case may be, and then he came to life, but he was still a puppet. He was still a puppet. He hadn't become a real boy yet. He had to go through certain things to become a real boy. Now, if you know about the scriptures tell you, let's go to it. Because you're basically not really a real man until you come into the truth and you start trying to do righteousness. You're basically a dead man. You don't have any life in you. Proverbs 21:16, like the brother goes into. But there's more. Just stick around, Proverbs 21:16, the man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. So that represents that puppet represents, when you're still in your sin and you have yet to break those bands of sin, These represents the sin that's still controlling you, before you break it loose. So I wanted to read here in Psalms 107. Now, I mean, this whole thing is good. I'm gonna get to the point, and then I may just go read upward, read up above it, because it goes right along with his dream. Psalms 107 and 10, it says, "Such as sit in darkness and in the shadow of death, being bound in affliction and iron, because they rebelled against the word of the Most High and contemned the counsel of the Most High. Therefore he brought down their heart with labor." He was talking about going to work, and he also talked about the darkness. He was getting ready to go and work. And right now, that's one of the things that we have to go through. We have to work, we have to labor in this, in this place. And, we're subject unto payments. This is our captivity. And it was worse during chattel slavery, but still, you don't like having to go through that stuff because, as you can see, the money's jacked up. But anyway, you could barely make ends meet for most of us. They fell down and there was none to help. Then they cried unto the Lord in their trouble, and he saved them out of their distress. He brought them out of darkness, see, and the shadow of death, and he brake their bands in sunder, And when you see in the dream, eventually these bands get broken off of this puppet, and eventually he becomes a real boy, a real man. He starts off like a babe in the truth. Yeah, that was probably a good statement. He becomes a real boy, but he's a babe in his truth because, like the brother's gonna go on to explain, I'll just let him explain a little bit more, and then I'll expound.
And I saw that the strings were connected to a man, but it wasn't a real man. It was like a puppet. It was like a wooden man, and the strings had his body doing stuff that a person wouldn't do. It was contorted.
Sorry if there's, I know that in this original video, the audio is not super loud. So I got it turned up in my program here, turned up all the way. So hopefully the clicking noise of him zooming in isn't too loud for y'all brothers, but I'm gonna just let it run.
And then those strings, they snapped.
Okay.
And when that puppet fell, it was like almost kind of in a fetal position. And out of his back, something started to break out of that puppet's back, out of this fake person, out of this wooden man. Something started to break out of his back. It was a real man. He's breaking out of this puppet. Now, when he first came out, he was kind of frail. He was a frail guy. Couldn't make out his face, but he had cornrows. He was a frail guy. But the longer he was outside of that puppet, his body, he started to get big and get, real, like abnormally big.
Started to get healthy.
Yeah, he was a big.
Right, because when you first break out of your sin, you're vulnerable. You're weak. But as you build yourself through the Spirit, you become stronger. All right. So I had a couple scriptures here lined up just to go with the sins being bands and cords. Going back to that puppet hanging up underneath that scale. Isaiah 58:6 is not this the fast that I have chosen, to loose the bands of wickedness, to undo the heavy burdens, and to let the oppressed go free, that ye break every yoke. Now, of course, this represents two different things. You know what I'm saying? But spiritually, when you are outside the truth, you are subject to sin. And it takes Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai to break those bands of sin, those bands of wickedness from off of you before you can begin to grow spiritually. I'm a testimony to that. I went through that. I thought this was beautiful in Psalms 107. Once again, he brought them out of darkness and the shadow of death and break their bands in sunder, because that's exactly what the brother said. He was getting up to get ready to go to work, and then it was complete darkness, and then the next thing that appeared was this man with these cords on him, and those cords were broken by Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, all right, so I'm gonna go here, Isaiah 5:18. This is also representing that sin, because if your wickedness outweighs your good, the good, in this case, the good outweighed the wickedness, or the spirit outweighed the flesh. But if it's vice versa, then this is what the scriptures say, Isaiah 5:18. Woe unto them that draw iniquity with cords of vanity, and sin as it were with a cart rope, that say, let him make speed. So this goes for primarily for us brothers in the truth that know we Israelites, Salakia, and also to them Christians, them so-called Christians and fake Christians, great Jewish Christianity. So woe unto them that draw iniquity with cords of vanity, and sin, as it were, with a cart rope, that say, let him make speed and hasten his work. So lucky if I'm blowing in the microphone, let me move it. That say, let him make speed and hasten his work, that we may see it, and let the counsel of the Holy One of Israel draw nigh and come, that we may know it, you know? Because if you're allowing sin, if you have these sins on you and you hasten in the day, it's not gonna be any good for you, you know? It's gonna be how quickly that you can reach your destruction, you know, and that goes for all of us, you know. If we got a battle against those sins, you know. And also I was thinking about how, you know, because like you said, a man came out of that puppet, you know. And when in Hamashiach we become a new creature, you know. 2 Corinthians 5:17, therefore if any man be in Hamashiach, he is a new creature. Old things are passed away. Behold, all things are become new, you know. So you go from that puppet, that shell of a person, you know, that person is subject unto sin, to being a new creature in Yahushua Hamashiach, you know, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. All right. So let's see. I read Isaiah 5:18, and then I also want to read Proverbs 5:22, and I'll read 23 as well. His own iniquity shall take the wicked himself, and he shall be holden with the cords of his sins. He shall die without instruction, and in the greatness of his folly shall he go astray. You know, so this is representing a man that's being freed from the cords of his sins. You know. And building up and becoming that new creature in Yahushua Hamashiach, you know. So yeah, that's just something I saw. I thought about it when I saw the puppet man hanging on by the cords. I was like, oh man, that represents your sin, you know. And then when I saw the image, I was like, okay, he died. I mean, the old man died, the new man came out. He started off as a newborn babe, and then he got stronger in the truth, you know. And of course, there's a lot more to the dream. It was a beautiful dream, beautiful testimony. You know, call all Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. You know, he's speaking unto us in these last days. You know, he's giving us warnings. You know, he's letting us know, hey, now's the time to start tightening up on certain things. You know, I pray through the Spirit. Of course, the elect gonna make it regardless, but I pray through the Spirit for all the brothers out there, you know, doing this work in sincerity, that the Most High bless you and allow you to cast off your sins, that your sins that you still have be covered, you know what I'm saying? And that through the Spirit, you know, he put the Spirit on us to fight and to win, you know, and that we become a part of that wall, because he talked about the wall that was built with the faces of the elect. They started off asleep, then they began to wake up, and then they began to form this exceeding army, you know, which is the elect being sealed and waking up. Of course, we were sealed from the beginning, from the foundation of the earth, you know, and I pray I be of that number. But yeah, you know, so hopefully this lesson was edifying. You know, I just want to chime in and land back on the brother's dream that he had. You know, all praise to the Most High Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Much peace, love, and salutation to you brothers out there, risking your lives to preach this truth. And you know, a shalom to you Aquat that listen and learn as well. All right, shalom.